Welcome back, Namita and Arina.
Hello. Sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So hi everyone. Today we are covering the chapter endocrine glands. I think Irina is gone, no?
She's there. I think no, she went off. She will join maybe. Let us
So
wait.
should I wait or start? Sir?
Let us wait. Actually,
Oh sure.
sometimes power cut होती है ना, उस वजह से भी disconnect हुआ. Yeah, she came.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a power cut.
Not an issue. Should we start?
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we are going to go through the chapter endocrine glands. Okay, and that is a new module. You can open the chapter endocrine glands. Endocrine system.
Is it 2.4, right?
Here in my module it is 288 of 486.
No,
You
I
can just
got the chapter, but maybe हम लोग digestive system miss कर रहे हैं.
A digestive I have completed there. You were not in that class, so maybe sir will tell you or will start again over that. But that we have finished
Okay.
in first class. Okay. So today we'll cover endocrine system. Basically, what is that? What is endocrine system? First, I'll just tell you what is that. Endocrine system, it's a system in our gland. Okay. And basically, it makes the hormones. It makes hormones and it releases it into our bloodstream. So the hormones which human body have, that is just because of our endocrine glands. It is located in our endocrine glands. And that hormones get released into our bloodstream. So now what is the work of hormone when it gets released on our human bloodstream? So what does it work? The development, the growth, and whatever metabolism or whatever activities which human body is facing or human body is going through, that is just because of our hormonal activities. Okay. So basically, what is endocrine system? Endocrine system is a system in our gland which make hormones, which create a hormone and release it into our bloodstream. Okay. So now in our book, there is a topic comparison of nervous system and endocrine system. So there will be it's a kind of same, but if it is, why we see a difference between two topics? If there is a little bit of similarity in that, or maybe there is a minor difference into that. So let's see what is the difference between nervous system and endocrine system. Okay. So mode of information transfer. What is the mode of information transfer into the nervous system and into the endocrine system? So the first is given here, nerve impulses and neurotransmission release at specific rate. So in the last previous chapter, I have explained you in muscular system, there is a neurotransmission, okay, through which our nerve cells, nerve impulses get transferred or work, right? So in a nervous system, the mode of transferation of message from one person to other person is just because of neurotransmitters, okay, and neuroimpulses. Now in endocrine system, how does the message convey or transfer? It is just the hormone. When hormone get released into our bloodstream, that because of that we receive the information or we feel something or whatever function or whatever actions which we are performing, our body is performing just because of that hormonal release in our human body. Okay. So if we talk about nervous system, it is just because of neurotransmitters and nerve impulse. And if we talk about endocrine gland, then it is just because of hormonal release into our bloodstream. Okay. Now the second is respirator location. Where do our body receive the message or signals in a human body? So if we talk about our nervous system, so the internal and external, there is a two form. If I'm conveying you a message, you are getting it, and when whatever message you are giving me, I'm getting it. So that is from the both mode, internal and external as well. But if we talk about endocrine system, that is only internal. The hormones are it's inner our body, right? It get released inner of our body. So when it get released, into our bloodstream, then we receive some kind of development, then we feel some kind of development or growth into our body. So it is not outer part of our body, it is just the inner part of our body. Okay. Whereas if we talk about nervous system, it is internal and external. Whatever we are thinking, we are expressing that. Okay. So this is the major difference into that. Now, location of effects, where does it located? It is localized. That is nervous system, the particular part of a human body that is localized. That is a particular set of point. If it is in your nervous cell, that is in your nervous cell. But hormones are located all throughout your body, entire body. It is located entire body. Okay, from tip to toe, from head to toe, there is a hormones there which is running into your bloodstream. Okay. Now, time for one set of effects, immediate. How much time does it take to get affected in your body so that a human body gets response or you respond to other person? It takes immediate million seconds. Okay, milliseconds it takes. And if we talk about hormones, so it takes gradually seconds or hours. It takes the hormone, when the hormones release into our bloodstream, it takes hour or maybe seconds or half an hour to get into that mode where the development or any activities took place. Now, we missed one point, targets. So where does it, what the part of the human body does it targets? So nervous system targets are nerves, glands, cells, muscle cells. Okay. And endocrine system, all tissues, because the hormones which runs throughout our body is just because of the mode of our tissue. Okay. Now, if we talk about duration of effect, short term, milliseconds or minutes, that I have explained you. So nervous system, it takes hardly seconds or milliseconds to get respond or to take response throughout our body. Okay. Where does this neuro cells and the cells where they work, it takes hardly seconds or million of seconds to get activated or to run throughout your body into bloodstream. But whereas if we talk about hormones, so it takes time long term. It takes hours or half an hour at least to get into that mode where the people or the human will feel the development into their body. Okay. Now, recovery time from effects, immediate as soon as singular. So it takes, if for example, if you get hungry, if you eat food, your hungerness will get over. So these kind of affection, how much time does it take? Until unless when you will feel something and then that feeling get removed, it takes that much time, not more than that. But if there is a hormonal disbalance into your body, you have seen females, mostly in females, there is a hormonal disbalance like PCOD, or in pregnancy, women get pregnant. So there are so much of hormonal imbalance into their body. And if we talk about our cycles, so there are so much hormonal imbalance in our human body. So it does not take hour or a day to get over it. It takes at least months, 2 months, 3 months. So it takes a long period of time to get over the problems which due to hormones which man or woman are suffering from. They are suffering. Okay. So these are the major difference between nervous system and endocrine gland. The work of both in the human body is up to, if we talk, it is kind of same, but the major difference is into that if they are conveying the message. So one is conveying through neurotransmitters, one is conveying through hormones. If we talk about the disease, what people are suffering or the human body is suffering from, so it takes hormonal changes take long term, whereas nervous system takes short term. It takes milliseconds and it takes about an hour. So these are some 5 to 6 points which has been given in the majorly to differentiate between the nervous system and endocrine system. That in your book you can just mark it, that once you'll go through the chapter, no, these are the basic difference you should know, that what is the difference between our nervous system and endocrine system. There is a box given in that. You can just underline that. You can mark that. Okay. Now, as I have explained you earlier, what is endocrine system? So basically, endocrine system, I have just we found our endocrine system in our glands. Okay. And that gland release a hormone. Now, what is hormones? That I have explained you that in our endocrine gland we see there is a creation of hormones. But what is that hormone? What does role that it plays in a human body? So basically, what is a hormone? Hormone is runs throughout our bloodstream, and basically, what is that? It helps us in our body to feel a growth or any metabolism activities or any kind of development which human body is going through, that is just because of our hormones. So you can write a definition of hormone in a simple language. The hormone is a kind of a chemical messenger that travel in our bloodstream to tissue or organs. So basically, this hormones is a chemical messenger. It's because why we are calling it a chemical messenger, because it runs throughout our bloodstream. So it's a kind of a chemical messenger which runs into our bloodstream in a human body through the tissue or organ, by which we feel what development or what growth we are going through. And they work slowly. It takes time. They work slowly over a time, whatever food we are taking and how much time that food is going to take to react or to digest in a human body, that depends on that. So time, it takes time according to your body, according to the human body and their activities, their food intaking, everything depends. The hormonal activities took place. Okay. So as far I have explained you what is hormones. Now, if we next topics on our book is given, we turn the page. Endocrine gland. There is a big diagram given there in our book. What is endocrine glands? Where does the each part of endocrine gland is located in a human body? If you could go through the diagram, there are different type of names given: hypothalamus, pineal glands, pituitary glands, thyroid glands. Okay. So what are the different kind of role in our human body? In the if we look about whole endocrine gland, there is a different part. It is categorized in a different part. Different glands are there: thyroid gland, pituitary gland, and they have a different kind of role and functions to run in a human body. Okay. So first main function of endocrine gland is a hypothalamus. What is that? Arina, remember we have hypothalamus. This term has been used in a previous chapter as well. Do you remember what is that? In the muscular system, we have used that word.
Is with the brain?
Yeah, it is exactly, sure, kind of right. Hypothalamus, it is located in our brain. It's a basically it is a very small part of our brain. Okay, but it has a major role. Okay, and where does it located? It is located on base wall of our brain. Okay, so basically, what is the role of that hypothalamus? It is, and where does it located? It is a base size location of our brain. Okay, and it is near to pituitary glands. Okay, so what is the role? It release hormones and regulate our body temperature. Basically, in short term, if I'll explain you what is the role of hypothalamus, it's a very small part of our brain which located in our base location, and it is near to our pituitary glands. What is the role does it play? The role of it, basically our hypothalamus is to control, regulate our body and release hormones. Whatever hormones our body is releasing, whatever that means, whatever growth our body is going through, whatever development our body is going through, this is just because of our hormones. And that hormones get released from our hypothalamus system in our endocrine gland. Okay. Now, the second is pineal glands. What is that? It is a small endocrine gland. Basically, pineal glands is a small endocrine gland in our system. What the function of is to receive information about the state and basically see. I'll explain in the simple language. In our book, it is given. If you want, could you read pineal gland, Arina, so that I'll just once if you'll get it after reading, it is fine. Then then after that I'll explain you in easy language. If not, then book language is also good. Just read once.
Okay. So the pineal gland, a structure about the size of a pea, is located slightly above and behind the hypothalamus. It receives information via the thalamus from the eyes about light and dark cycles. It is involved in rhythmic behavior such as sleep cycles for humans, but is much more complicated in animals. For example, the pineal gland is crucial in helping birds decide when it is time to fly south for the winter. The pineal gland secretes the hormone melatonin, a modified amino acid that is derived from the neurotransmitter serotonin. Melatonin is released at night and acts within the brain to affect the cyclic behaviors. During winter, the less melatonin is released. This release connects daily cycles with seasonal cycles. Humans, however, do not have seasonal behaviors like animals that reproduce only at certain times of the year. The significance of melatonin and the pineal gland in humans is not clear. Many people believe that body produces less melatonin as it ages and that this is one of the causes of aging. Some people use over-the-counter preparations of melatonin to fight jet lag and insomnia because it helps to adjust the body's sleep-wake cycle.
Yeah. So did you get it? What is that exactly? Can you just explain it? Anything you got about this point? Any idea?
So yeah, so the pineal gland has this hormone, which is melatonin, which regulates in animals. It regulates how they reproduce with the seasons and how they act within the seasons. For humans, it's not quite clear what it is, but it's related maybe to aging. And yeah, I heard about it because some people also use it to fight jet lag. So
yeah, so basically it's a different kind of gland in our endocrine gland. It reacts, or we can say it functions according to the environment, dark cycles. Because people see, if we talk about, if people are, suppose you are coming India from your place here, so the time duration is different, right? So the time duration which you were into and now you are into, that both are different. So if we talk about our sleeping, our eating, and if we talk about from our all habits which we are going through in our daily basis, it all gets changed suddenly. So whatever cycle, that cycle change, our gland is our human body is going to adapt that. So what kind of gland, what is the particular gland where that is role is function, that is our pineal gland. So if we people are, they are like, if you're sleeping, your sleeping cycle has been changed, right? Your you eating food habit has been changed. So whatever changes your body is going through and your gland is accepting that, or the time it is taking to accept, that is just because of our pineal gland. Okay, now you can write if you want. I'll just tell you the definition in short, because in of course you have read it and it is in some technical word only. So you can write it in 3 to 4 lines. It is a small endocrine gland. Pineal gland is a small endocrine gland. Its function is to receive information about the state of light dark cycle. Its function is to receive the information about the state of a light dark cycle from the environment, and convey the information to produce and secrete the hormones melatonin, melatonin, and convey the information to produce and secrete the hormones melatonin. So according to the environment, according to the cycle, a hormone get released and it get function, that is just because of our pineal gland. Okay, now what is pituitary gland? That I have also explained in your muscular system. What is that? It's a small size P. Basically, what is the size of our pituitary gland? It is a small size P, as it is located near to a hypothalamus. Our hypothalamus, which is in our brain, it is located near to our pituitary gland. So it is a P-sized gland, and it is also known as a master gland. Why it is known as a master gland? Because it controls all the activities of the hormones. Almost all 99% activities our hormones is releasing in our bloodstream, that is controlled by our pituitary gland. That is the reason it is called as a master gland. Okay, so whatever activities our human body is facing, even like whatever actions, reflex actions we are giving, whatever kind of internal body, our organs are changes which we are getting or we are receiving, which we are knowingly or unknowingly, which we are facing, our body is facing, that is all hormone by our pituitary gland. So that is the reason it is known as a master gland. It is small at the side, but it has a major important role in a human body. Okay, if you want, you can write it. It is a small size P size gland, and it is known as a master gland because it controls activity of most other hormone secreting glands, because it controls almost all hormonal secreting glands activities. So now, after that, there is a topic, thyroid gland. What is thyroid gland? Any idea, Namita?
No.
Thyroid gland. You must have heard the word
Yeah.
thyroid. Thyroid, basically, yeah. So, and you have heard it about the disease only. Basically, majorly you have heard it. People are suffering from thyroid or something, and that is a lifetime disease. People have to take a medicine, lifetime medicines for that, right? So, what, why, what kind, how does this disease occur in our body? How people are going into that? What is that? See, basically, I'll explain you. Thyroid gland is in our neck. Basically, thyroid glands in our endocrine gland, and our neck is contesting basically two lobes into our thyroid gland. It finds in our endocrine gland, and it is just nearby our neck. So the thyroid is located at the front of neck. Basically, it is located in front of our neck and below our Adam's apple, ADAMS APPLE. It is located in front of our neck and below Adam's apple. Now you can write down the line, the lower two third THIRDS of the lobe. The two lobes which is in our neck, the lower two-thirds of the lobes are called thyroid isthmus, ISTHMUS. Now, the primary action of our thyroid gland is to activate our metabolism. Okay, so when it activates there is a less metabolism, or there is a no growth, or there is a lack of metabolism in our gland, thyroid gland. It occurs that then that is the why there is people are suffering from thyroid gland, thyroids. Okay, and it can be people are getting heavy, they have a problem, they are getting fat. That is also considered as a thyroid. Lean people are very thin, that can be also. So there are many more symptoms of getting thyroid. Why? Because there are two lobes connected in our neck. So the third lobe is interconnected to the hormonal part. So when it stops working, or the metabolism rates are getting low, that is the reason people are suffering from thyroid. Okay. Now, the kidney reduce the amount of calcium that is returned to the blood and allow more to excrete into urine. So the kidney it is related to, although it is our neck, but is it interconnected to our kidney, liver, everything. So when the kidney, the blood which we get it into our kidney, when it is not getting a sufficient blood, and it is not getting, because that blood flows in our body through our nervous cells. So when it is not getting enough blood, and it is not regulating in the proper manner to the human body, so that is also the reason where the metabolism of our body gets affected, and it can cause a problem to our human body, or to our thyroid. Now, there is a term called parathyroid. What is that? Basically, parathyroid is we found in the chest of our human body. Okay, so you can note it down. Parathyroid is in the chest between the lungs. It makes white blood cells. Thyroid, it is in our neck. And where is parathyroid? It is in our chest between the lungs, and it makes white blood cells, WBC. Okay. Now, there is a term T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes, which are it is in our human body part, and it is in our immune system. So, as I have in last previous chapter also, I have explained you that white cells, blood cells create our immune system. It makes our immune system strong. So, it is the parathyroid. It is between our chest, between our lungs. So, it creates a white blood cells. So, when the white blood cells it get flows into our body, that point of time, our immune system start working, and it gets stronger at particular time. Okay, now it helps, and that point of time, the role of white blood cells is to fight against the infection, fights against the disease throughout our body, in our body. So the role of parathyroid is to fight against the infection. Also, it creates white blood cells. And where does it located? It is located in our chest between our lungs. Okay, now the sixth topic is thymus gland. What is thymus gland? Basically, thymus gland, here it is given. See, if I'll read the definition of parathyroid gland, the parathyroid gland have 4 small tissue masses attached back of the thyroid. They secrete parathyroid hormone, PTH, and release blood calcium levels, stimulating bone. So whatever calcium our bone is getting, or whatever this protein our bone is getting, that is just because of parathyroid gland. And if we talk about thymus, so thymus is the same thing where it is located in. See, there is a difference between parathyroid and thymus. Here thyroid gland, it is here. Thymus is here. Okay, it is in our neck. Thyroid is in our thyroid gland. It is in our neck. Thymus, that is in chest, between the lungs. Okay, which helps us to fight the infection. And whereas if we talk about parathyroid gland, that parathyroid gland is also helps to run the calcium to make our bones strong. Okay, and there are 4 small glands which is interconnected in our parathyroid gland, which helps to run the calcium throughout our body and make our bones stronger. Whereas thymus helps to fight against our bacterial infection or any disease, and it makes our immune system get stronger just because of white blood cells. Okay. Now, if we talk about adrenal gland, there is a seventh topic in our module, adrenal gland. Till thyroid gland, have you written the note? Do you need a small note of parathyroid? Should I tell you? Okay, so you can just write it down. There is a 2 paragraph actually. It is a 4 small gland of the endocrine system. Parathyroid gland, it is a 4 small gland of our endocrine system which regulate the calcium in our bodies. It is a 4 small glands in our endocrine system which regulates the calcium in our bodies. It is located in the neck behind the thyroid. It is located in the neck behind our thyroid when they continuously monitor and regulate blood calcium levels, where they monitor blood calcium levels. So whatever blood calcium levels are regulated in our body, that is just because of our parathyroid gland. Okay. Now, the next one was thymus gland. You can note it down about what is thymus gland. Thymus gland, it is in the chest between our lungs. Thymus gland, it is in our chest between our lungs. Also, it makes white blood cells. So that white blood cell consists of, it contains one word, that is a T lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, which are the part of our immune system and helps to fight against the infection. So basically, in short, thymus helps us to fight against the infection. It builds our immune system. It makes up white blood cells. And where does it located? It is located in our chest between the legs. Okay. Now, let's go to 7th topic. That is adrenal gland. There's a diagram given. So it basically our adrenal gland produce hormones. The major role of our adrenal gland is to release hormones that helps to regulate our metabolism, our immune system, and our blood plasma. Okay. Now, what role does it follow? If it is controlling our blood plasma, if it is controlling our immune system, and if it is controlling our metabolism, that is the major function of a human body. Okay. Through our metabolism, all energy, whatever energy flowing in our body and how our body is working, that is just because of our metabolism. Immune system, it helps us to fight against the disease, the infection, and everything. Okay. And what is the blood plasma? What is the blood pressure and blood plasma? Basically, the blood which follows into our bloodstream, through which our hormones get activated, through which our immune system gets activated, our white blood cells form. That is, so it contains all 3. That is, adrenal gland consists all 3. That is blood pressure, immune system. Okay, and the third one would be metabolism. Okay. Now it has 2 parts. Adrenal glands has 2 parts. One is cortex and medulla. CORTEX. This keyword also you have seen in your past chapters. So one is cortex, CORTEX, and the second one is MEDULLA, medulla. Both are responsible for responding different hormones. So they both are responsible for respond to our hormones. Whatever our hormones are secreting or generating in our body, they respond according to that. Okay, according to our hormones, they respond in our body. Right. Now, there's a diagram given. Where is the left kidney, left adrenal gland, right adrenal gland? In the diagram, you can see where is cortex, where is medulla in adrenal gland. So according to our kidney, if our adrenal glands, it release the hormones, it flows, it make our blood to flow in our bloodstream. It control our blood pressure basically. So if our blood is flowing in the proper manner, if our blood is clear, blood is clean. Okay, and our white blood cells are healthy. So that means our immune system is healthy. At that point of time, your kidney will function in a good manner, your liver will function in a good manner. And if your blood is not floating in our bloodstream in a good proper manner, or it is not clean, at that point of time, your white blood cells get affected, your immune system gets weak, your kidney and liver gets eventually it get affected. Okay. Now, pancreas. That after that, there is a term called pancreas. There also, it's a diagram has been given in your book. You can just see that. What is pancreas? Basically, it is the organ which is located in our abdomen. Pancreas are located in our abdomen. You can note it down. Pancreas organ is located in our abdomen. It plays an essential role in a human body. What role does it follow? Whatever food we are taking, whatever food we are we are taking in our body, that generates a fuel for the body cells. It creates into a liquid. It forms in liquid into the body, and it flows into our organ. And what liquid that is, what fuel does it converts? The term is known as EXOCRIN, exocrine, that helps in digestion. EXOCRIN, that helps in digestion. And second one is endocrine. It regulates blood sugar. Endocrine, that regulates blood sugar. So basically, pancreas is the organ located in abdomen. It plays an essential role in converting the food which we eat into fuel of the body cell. Okay. Now, after that, there is a topic, ovary, gonads. So basically, that we know that is a primary reproductive function of a human body. That is a primary reproductive organ in a human body. These are testes are in male, ovaries are in females, and it is responsible for producing sperms, ova, but they also secrete hormones. It also in human body, the major role of these two are to secrete hormones as well. Okay, and they consider in endocrine glands. They are located in our endocrine glands only. They secrete hormones as well. They have a different part of role to release sperms and ova. Okay. Now after that, kidney. So what is kidney? Basically, kidney is in bean shape. It's a very small, although we see in diagram it looks big. Okay, but it's in bean shape, and it is side of your spine. It is located just side of your spine, which is around 4 to 5 inches long. Your kidney is around 4 to 5 inches long. It is just beside of your spine, and it is in bean in shape. Also rough in size. It is not like soft or something. It is rough in size. And the major role of your kidney is to filter the blood. Okay, the blood which flows in your human body into a bloodstream. It filters that. The poor blood goes out, and the good rich blood flows into our body, which build our immune system, which build white blood cells, through which our body can fight against the disease or the infection. Okay. Okay. Now, heart. There is a topic, heart. So the major role of our heart is to increase urine production, lower blood volume. Okay. So the heartbeat, which we are alive just because of our heart. So the blood which flows into our heart, that is just, it goes filters from our kidney, it flows into our heart. That is the reason we breathe. And it also increase urine production and lower blood volume. The excessive flow of the blood is also not good for our body. It should be in a moderate form. Okay. So if there is an excessive flow of blood, or there is a less flow of blood in our body, that is, both are not good for human body. So there should be a moderation. There should be a moderate regulation of the blood in the human body to breathe, okay, to do exercise, to do everything, to run each and every function throughout our body. Now, digestive system, that I have explained you earlier also. What is digestive system? It means digestion or absorption. Whatever food we are intaking, that should be observed. That is just because of our digestive system. It breaks down the food into the small particles. It gets digested. Through that, it gets digested. It flows into our bloodstream. It goes to all the important organs in our body. That is also divided into two parts. Digestive tract, that is known as alimentary canal. The liquid which we take, it is through our alimentary canal. That is known as digestive tract, and that is just because of two openings from mouth to anus. So all the digestive system which is going into the human body, or how does it run? It is through our mouth, food we intake, and through the anus system outtake. It get evacuated. The wastage of the food get evacuated, and the food which is necessary for our body, it breaks down into small particles, and then it flows into our bloodstream. Okay. Now there is an endocrine gland and their hormones. The definition, it's a kind of keyword. Each and every technical biological definition has been given in your module. You can just open the module. It is in the last of the chapter. Okay. We'll go through that. That is very important because each and every word, biological word, which is important, every word is important in this chapter. All the topic has been covered here in one line. Their hormone is given, what kind of hormone it is, what hormone, there are name of the hormones as well in our different organs of a human body, what chemical is there in that hormone, and hormone action, what action does it perform. Okay, so if we talk about first is hypothalamus, release and inhibiting factor. So that is the inhibiting factor and releasing factor, control anterior pituitary. So that I told you, it controls the hypothalamus, it helps us to fight against the infection, interior part, it runs. And pituitary, growth hormone, protein, growth, the bone and muscles. So because of pituitary glands, the muscles and the bone of a human body helps us to grow the muscles and growth. And which hormone? The hormones is growth. Basically that our pituitary gland contains a growth hormone through which the growth or the development our body is going through, that is just because of our pituitary gland. Okay. Now anterior milk production, it's important for both male and female reproductive health. So the production of milk in a human body, that is just because of anterior, and it is in the male and female both. Okay. Now posterior stimulates urine contraction, the whatever urine our body is taking in out, whatever water we are taking in it, and urine in the form of urine we are taking in out, that is the wastage, that is just because of our posterior gland. Okay. Now thyroid gland stimulate metabolic rate. The metabolic rate, whatever metabolic rate our body is going through, whatever energy our body is going through, we are taking the metabolism, that is just because of our thyroid gland. Sorry, pineal gland. Thyroid gland stimulate metabolic rate and biological rhythms. Pineal gland takes that I have biological rhythms. That means according to the environment of how our gland reacts, how our gland adapt, that is our thymus gland. Now pancreas, lower blood glucose and protein based blood glucose. So the whatever glucose, see there is a glucose in our body which is required for every human body. If there is a low glucose, that is not good. If a high glucose, that is also not good. Sometimes we take glucose when we are ill, or that is just because our metabolic rate is not so good. At that point of body, our body is not acting in a good manner, or in an active manner. So that is the reason the glucose is required. Adrenal glands, medulla, the term medulla and cortex has been used. If it is given over here in endocrine glands. Medulla means fight or flight. Okay, either you have to fight for the disease or flight. And cortex raise blood glucose. So according to the hormones, that these both two reacts according to the hormones. Hormones take place in our that they both react. So if we talk about cortex, so it helps in the raising of the blood. So whatever blood which is floating in our human body into our bloodstream, it reacts according to that. It plays major role into that. Now, every part has been given. Digestive system, in the last, the digestive system, I want to tell you the most important thing of a hormonal action in the digestive system that was not into the previous chapter. Okay, so what hormones is included in our digestive system? Please look, last topic. Regulate water homeostasis throughout the body and influences informant of the duodenum by regulating secretion of stomach, pancreas, and liver. CCK is a gut hormone released after a meal which helps digestion. So what hormones helps in the digestion? What hormones are included? The name would be CCK, is a gut hormone. It's a kind of a gut hormone that release after a meal. When we take a meal, it release after that, and that is the reason our food get digested. And then that is the reason after a certain point of time, again, we feel hungry. If the food is not digested in our human body or in our stomach, will not feel hungry again. Will not feel that again, okay, we have to now evacuate this waste from our stomach. Hormones, through which hormones we feel that. Now, what is in that? There is a juice called gastric juice. Gastrointestinal, that a term has been used in a digestive system. The first word we have used is the gastrointestinal word, keyword. What is that? It is basically a secretion of gastric juices. The juices, the food which we intake, it breaks down into small parts, right? And that creates a juice, small juice fluid into our body, which runs into our bloodstream. And the extra part of the wastage part get evacuated from the human body, and the required juice, which is important for the human body, that remains into our digestive system. Okay. Now, kidney, heart, testes, ovaries, gonads, that every definition I have explained you, and that is also, it is given in your book. That definition is given, and the hormones action has been given. How does each hormone's actions takes place in your human body with the different organs? There is not only one hormone in a human body which is regulating throughout our body. Every organ has a different hormone to release, and every action has to release. Sometimes if hormone is not reacting in a good manner, that point of time it will take time to get you. Mostly doctors say your hormone is disbalanced, so it will take to time. It takes time to get the balance, and it is very necessary for a human body to make our hormones each and every time in a balanced manner. Okay. And if we don't do that, that point of time, mostly females or even males as well, there is a mindset problems also. People face anxiety, depression of because of the hormonal disorder as well. So it affects your mind as well, not only in your internal part of your body, it affects your mind, also your outer part of your body. People, females or male, they are facing pimples, acne, dark circles. That is also because of a disbalance of your hormones. Okay. So hormone has a major important role in a human body, and it is located in our endocrine glands. Okay. Just because of our endocrine glands, we create a hormone. Hormone has been created, and that hormones run into our bloodstream, through which our body is performing or functioning each and every day. Okay. So this was the chapter today all about basically. Okay. You have to go anyhow. When you go through the chapter, please go through this endocrine glands and their hormones, because and you can underline, because it is only one or two words, so it is not difficult to read. And once you'll read the definition, I have given you in simple words. Also, I have given you the definition of each and every system. So once you'll go through the module and you'll go through the your notes as well, you will compare it, and you will understand what is the role of each hormone or each human body or gland. Okay. Now, tomorrow we have a chapter, guys, respiratory system. It's just after that. Okay, we'll cover that chapter. It's a bit, you can just go till the time is there. It's basically our respiratory system. What does it include? It will include all our respiratory part. Okay, so now in Corona, everybody is saying just breathe with different kind of techniques. Anulom, Vilom, like we have a different type of breathing exercise. Diaphragmatic breathing, I just explained you yesterday what kind of breathing is that. So we'll just, yes, tomorrow we'll learn something about our respiratory system, and it will include our respiratory system, it is just related to our lungs. Okay, so tomorrow we'll cover this chapter. We'll finish it tomorrow because it is not so tough, or it is not so huge. Although in module it is explained, so it is taking 10 to 12 pages, but again, I'll give you the easy definition, and we'll cover each and every topic with module. Okay, I think that is easy. No, if we, you can just tell me if you want, I can go through each and every line from the book as well. So is it that way? It is easy, or should I cover it from topic? I'll pick up from the module only, but I'll give you the definition in the easy language as previously I was giving it. So is that is fine for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because if we will go through the book and module, if we'll read each and every, it is kind of boring also, because it's a biological term, purely biological term. And the end of the day, the matter is that you should understand. And if it is in an easy language, it will help you out. If you'll open your book any time in future, you will come to know, okay, what is the definition of endocrine gland, what is the definition of pituitary glands and everything. Okay, if it is noted. And if in case anything is missing, any definition is missing, you can just tell me. I'll repeat it, because I'll tell you the easy words of that definition and you can note it down. And Namita, for the digestive system, we have the first chapter. When the time I am taking classes, the first chapter I have covered was digestive system also, and it is not so big. It is only one page. Okay, but that one page in module, it has not given much, but I have given a note of each and every definition of every digestive system part. I have given similarly like this chapter. I have given the notes for that as well. So maybe sir will give you the recording if possible. If not, then I'll will cover that chapter for you. I'll give you the notes for that as well. Okay, so that chapter will also will cover. Okay, now if there is any doubt, anything, guys, please go through the diagram whenever like you are going through the chapter now. See, I'm not saying that when you will go through the diagram, you have to learn each and every part of that diagram or you will learn it. That is not possible for sure, but at least you should go through the diagram so that you will at that point of time when you're looking into the module, you'll come to know which part of your organ is where it is located. The external part, where is eyes, where is nose, where is lips, where is ears, that we know. But if internal part, if we talk about, we don't know that. So it is not like you have to learn. If someone will ask where is that gland located, you will tell us. No, nothing like that. But yes, if you are going through the module, just go through the diagram once before going to the definition, so that you will come. It is somewhere in mind you will know. Not out of 10, 8 or 9, but at least 2 figure maybe you'll learn that okay, this part is located here in the human body. Okay. So that is the thing. Tomorrow we'll go through the respiratory system. And then after that, I think there is one chapter left in the physiology, that is other body system. Could you just open index? Okay. So Arina, we have completed, I think first chapter I have completed was digestive system. Then we have covered this muscular system in autonomy, then nervous system, then cardiovascular system. Yesterday we have done it, and today we have done is endocrine system. Okay, so Namita, your digestive system is left so far in this chapter, no? The day which I am taking, digestive system is left. Other than that, we have in physiology, we have completed 4 chapters, only 2 is left. Respiratory system, tomorrow I'll cover it. And then 6th one will be other body and system and yoga. That is all related to the each and every part, how we can convert, how does yoga benefits into that. That is the last chapter. Okay. So far we'll hopefully we'll cover till Friday, we'll complete physiology there. And then digestive system, if it is left, that sir will, you can talk to sir, Namita. And then if it is left or if something is left, sir will tell me, I'll explain, I'll take half an hour and I'll explain the digestive system. Okay. So after that, we are not, there is no chapter left, no? Arina, skeleton system has been completed.
Yeah, we did it before.
Skeleton has been done. So that means anatomy is completed. Now physiology will be completing. Only we are remaining with 2 chapters. No? Okay, fine. So tomorrow we'll go through this respiratory system and then other body system and yoga. Okay. So if you'll get time or something, then you can go roughly go through respiratory system. If not an issue. I'm there tomorrow. I'll explain it and then we'll cover. Okay. Any doubts for endocrine glands or something? Maybe not. If you'll go through the chapter, then you can, if any doubt is there, you can just note it down and then we'll go through it again. Okay. Okay. Now again, your class will be at 1 o'clock. Okay. So you can just go and take rest. Okay.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.